It's Colors of the Month time. Hello and welcome back to Jenna Gets Creative. If you watch both my book and art content, then you may be wondering why there is no music-themed video happening this week, because I did tease that on Monday. That project's not done yet. I had the idea the day I recorded the book tag, but I want to do it mixed media, which means it'll take multiple sittings, and I haven't had that kind of time this week. Next week, the sketch is done, it's ready. Anyway, today I'm doing the February 2021 Colors of the Month Challenge colors, and since I've been watching WandaVision, I decided to draw Vision. Oh my goodness, what an action-packed show. I mean, there really isn't much action, not in a Marvel superheroes who fight bad guys sense, but it's always changing and it's so interesting. I am going to talk about it a little, but I'll try to avoid big spoilers. If you don't want to hear about it at all, you can mute me shortly. First, let me tell you about this month's challenge colors and the Colors of the Month challenge in general. This is the limited color palette challenge issued monthly by Marker Universe, and I do it every month. Lately, I've been trying to always do it with my Caran Brush Marker Pro watercolor markers, but this color set felt better suited to alcohol markers, so that's what I decided to do. Marker Universe used to be Imagination International, and they used to run the website CopicMarker.com because they used to be the exclusive North American distributor of Copic products, and this used to be the Copic Colors Challenge. They used to package special 3 marker packs of Copic Sketch and Chow markers for the monthly challenge and ask us to create art using our Copic markers, just the 3 colors they specified, with the option to add black, a blender, fine liners, and white gel pens. When the makers of Copic over in Japan reorganized and didn't renew middleman distributor contracts, these guys had to adapt. They became Marker Universe. They stock and sell all sorts of marker brands and related items, and the challenge has become a broader limited palette challenge. For 2021, it's a 4-color challenge, and they no longer make specific shade suggestions for their different brands. They give us the hex codes and generic color names and say, go for it. Black, white, mixing, and dilution are all still fair game. Using less than the 4 prescribed colors is also fair. February's colors are Hex B68, B82 Milk Tea, which is a desaturated brownish color with a pink undertone. Hex F2C0B7 Peach, which is the pinkest pale peach I've seen called peach. Hex F38393 Geranium, which is a nice medium pink. And Hex AD0047 Cardinal, which is a darker pink edging into the cool purple spectrum like a fuchsia. To match these, I'm using Copic E71 Champagne for the milk tea color, Sketchbox Signature R2 Blush for the peach, Ohuhu R9 Pastel Rose for the geranium pink, and Ohuhu R7 Old Red for the geranium shade. I'm also using a Copic Black and a Copic Colorless blender. I add highlights at the end using a Sakura Jelly Roll white gel pen in the 1mm bold nib. The paper is Transotype marker paper, which is exactly the same as the Copic branded lightweight marker paper, and the sketch you can see prepped at the beginning was done in a red Colerase sketching pencil. I like using Colerase because it dissolves a bit under both water and alcohol-based media, but you do have to be careful with alcohol markers because they tend to pick up and spread the Colerase pigment if you just freely brush back and forth over the lines. I picked red so it wouldn't matter. I seriously considered cheating and using some gray for Vision's metal details, or picking a brilliant blue for those piercing eyes. But in the end, I obeyed the rules of the challenge and stuck with the challenge colors. I'd like to draw Vision again sometime using the correct colors. I've been a huge fan of Paul Bettany since A Knight's Tale and A Beautiful Mind back in 2001, so I was so excited to hear that Vision would be in a Disney Plus original series. Disney Plus is the only streaming service we're currently keeping up with, besides the basic tier stuff we can access on Amazon Prime without paying for the full catalog, so I'm lucky the MCU is Disney these days. If you haven't managed to come across the advertisements for WandaVision yet, the show opens with Wanda and Vision of the Avengers starring as a married couple on a 1950s sitcom. It's very I Love Lucy meets I Dream of Jeannie, and I love it. part of me wishes they literally just filmed that and we got to watch 1950s sitcom with supernatural beings that nobody bats an eye at for a whole season or more, but what they're doing is quite interesting too. Without revealing who's doing what, an entire town has been brainwashed into performing for this non-existent sitcom, and true to sitcom tradition, very convenient things happen to drive the plot. Entire pregnancies progress in a single episode, and the resulting kids are preschoolers in the next episode. Nobody overhears things they aren't meant to hear even though they're 4 feet away in the same room, and people show up at the door right when they're needed, or right when their presence would be most inconvenient. The odd thing is that every episode or two, it jumps ahead a decade. In episode 1, it's 1950s and in black and white. In episode 2, it jumps to the 60s and everything becomes Technicolor. By episode 3, we're in the 70s. I just watched episode 5 and it claims to be the 80s, but it feels very Full House, early 90s. Obviously, not everything is as it appears. Everything is being manipulated and Vision is starting to notice. Meanwhile, there's a team on the outside of the town trying to get in, trying to gain control of the situation, and they've managed to tune into the broadcast of the sitcom using old CRT television. There are a lot of familiar MCU faces, and we're also dealing with the aftermath of a snap reversal situation in the outside world. It's so fascinating. I love it. I want to say more, but I don't want to spoil anything. Now I can go watch all the theory videos my favorite channels have made. Normally I don't worry about spoilers with those things and the MCU movies because my husband and I aren't likely to go out and see everything in theaters, so it'll be spoiled before I see it anyway. May as well have my favorite channels do the spoiling on my terms. But this is a series I can follow whenever I want through a streaming service we do actually keep up with. I had to watch it first. Have you already started watching WandaVision? Have you started watching theory videos? Tell me what you think in the comments down below. Try not to spoil things for others though. If you want to post a spoilery comment, say it's going to be a spoiler and then space down 5 lines so it has to be expanded to read. If you're looking for more to watch, I've got some suggestions up on the left side of the screen now. Don't forget to like, comment, maybe even subscribe, and if you like living life creatively, whatever that means to you, I'd love to have you along for the ride. Bye guys!